Hey guys, this is Jack Later. I wanted to welcome you to our webinar today, and on how I get leads online, and I'm going to give you some really powerful stuff today. Some stuff that I believe is going to help you out tremendously in your internet marketing business. Whatever it is. Many of the people that are on this webinar right now are team members in our primary opportunity, but we also have a lot of people on this webinar today that are just kind of peeking over the fence and checking this out and learning from what we have to teach. And that's what I want to do today. This is going to be a 100%, 110% value today. Going to talk about exactly what I do. I'm going to show you some income proof and some results so that about the results that I get, not only just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Everything that I'm going to show you today are things that I actually do. I'm not going to teach anything that I don't do. And I'm going to show you the results here in a minute as far as subscribers that I have and income and what I've been able to do part-time. A lot of you already know my story, so I'm not going to go through all that, but just to make a real long story really short, I started doing internet marketing seriously in the last year and a half or 2 years. And years ago, I actually had a jewelry store online, but it's kind of interesting because back then, almost 18 years ago now, is when I had that jewelry store online. We really didn't know how to market in those days. All we really knew how to do was to put a website up on the internet, and then you would submit the URLs to search engines, and that's really all I knew at that point. And it was kind of amazing because by just submitting URLs all over the search engines, I was able to get a supplemental income that was, I think at that time was about $10,000 a year or something like that, maybe a little bit more. And it was kind of nice to be able to supplement my income. And it worked for about 10 years or so, 10 or 13 years, I think. And until jewelry prices went skyrocket and people were starting to melt down their gold and silver. And so I had to basically give that up. But I always wanted to get back on the internet again. Trying to say this right, but I'm also a school teacher. I'm a college professor here in Utah, and I also taught secondary ed. And as I'm sure teaching really financially doesn't pay that well, and so I've always had to have other things. Well, I've got a family of 5, and I've got a wife, and needed to support my entire family, and always needed to have other things in addition to what teaching could provide. And I always wanted to get back on the internet. I knew that I didn't want to do it with jewelry anymore because it pretty much ran its course. In 2008 hit, and jewelry was skyrocketing. But on the other hand, people were so desperate, they were trying to melt down their gold and silver rather than selling it. So I got out of that. But I always wanted to get back online, and I figured out a way how to do it and how to make good money with great profit margins and provide value for people at the same time, tremendous value for people. In fact, I believe in over delivering whatever I provide or whatever I sell. In fact, I won't sell anything unless I know that it over delivers. So I'm going to show you what I do. And I want you to put this in perspective a little bit. I just want to get you up to date on something as far as where I'm coming from and also what's been happening today. I actually have been in the hospital all day today, not for myself, but for my mother. She had a bit of angina over yesterday, and so this is the first time that she ever had angina. She's 80 years old, and we were a little bit concerned about that because she had never had chest pains in her life. And she, fortunately, she's never been a smoker or a drinker, so that's helped in prolonging her life. But she started to have heart pains, and so I took her actually my wife, Patty, took her into the hospital yesterday, and they decided to keep her overnight and do EKGs and stress tests, and and echocardiograms and all the, the whole works. And this morning I went to see how she was doing and to see how the tests were done. And just let you know, she's actually doing pretty well. So we're fortunate that there wasn't anything serious going on with her heart. They obviously have to watch her, but it was kind of interesting because I love talking to my mom because, she's an intelligent person and she's a good listener. And I think that's one thing that helps me out is I don't pretend to be a perfect listener, but I learned some listening skills from my mom, and she's a great listener. And we were talking about business, and it's kind of interesting because I could talk to my mom about anything, including business, even though she's an artist. She's willing to listen, and she comes from a family of entrepreneurs, and so she understands where I'm coming from. And I was talking to her about my business, and I says, man, Mom, this business is going so well in a lot of different ways, and it's provided such a good supplemental income. I says, man, I wish I knew the marketing techniques that I know now back in the days when I had my jewelry store, because I didn't know how to market that jewelry store. I knew how to make a website. I actually had to do that the hard way, the difficult way. I actually had to learn the HTML coding necessary to make that website back then. Now today they have software programs that will do that for you, and marketing today is so much easier. And man, I wish I had YouTube and maybe Facebook and a blog especially, and even an autoresponder. And if I had all of those tools, 17, 18 years ago when I started my jewelry store online, I know that we would have made so much more money just because of what we know today. And I'm actually going to show you some of those techniques today that will make all of the difference in the world. And those of you who are on this webinar right now, and maybe if you're younger, don't take for granted technology and what we know today. Technology today is so much easier than it used to be. Those of you who are maybe my age and older, sometimes technology may seem to be overwhelming, but I think a lot of that is just fear. You've got to get in and just start clicking around and learning things as you go along. Sometimes I have people on my team that are much older than me who didn't grow up with computers, and we have the idea sometimes, those who are maybe over 60, that we have the idea that computers are these big, massive things that used to fill up entire rooms that would require computer science degrees that were highly complex. It's not that way anymore. It just isn't. Okay, you do have to get over a few hurdles, but those hurdles really are minimal compared to what they were 20 years ago even. When I first started my jewelry store online, not knowing really what I was doing, that's really interesting because in 10 years, I really didn't know how to market that jewelry store. There were some ways of marketing that were paid marketing, but they were really chancy and risky, and they were not trackable. Today, everything is trackable, okay? So anyway, to make a long story short about my jewelry business and that little bit of experience that I had with marketing the jewelry, it is so much easier today than it used to be. And so please don't take it for granted some of the places that we can market, even free marketing with YouTube and Facebook and blogging and email marketing. Those are primarily free sources, but there are so many very effective paid sources. Some of those I've used myself, but actually I've been able to get most of my leads online. Most of them have been from free marketing. Just a second, I need to get a drink here for a second. So what I want to show you right now is that I'm going to go ahead and show you some numbers, some income proof, but I also want to talk about some stuff that it provides a foundation to my marketing that makes all of the difference in the world. And I'm going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about this foundation in my marketing, but I'm also going to talk about some of the things that I also do, technically and tactically to get leads. Okay. It works. And so anyway, let me just show you some income proof here for a minute and some numbers. just to show you, what's possible for you. Now, when I show you these numbers, when I show you some income proof, this is in no way, shape, or form a promise or any guarantee that you're going to make the same kind of money. You might do just as well as me. You might do better than me. You might do worse than me. You might not do anything. There's no guarantee there. All I can show you is what I've done, okay, and what I've been able to accomplish. And I'm hopefully that'll give you enough confidence to move forward in your own business, whatever business it is. Okay, I'm going to make this training very generic because we have some people that are in internet marketing, some that are in network marketing, some that are in both, some that have traditional businesses, some who are in real estate, and you can apply this virtually to any business. If I still have my jewelry business, which I don't now, but if I had my jewelry business, I would apply what I'm doing right now, what I'm teaching you right now today. I could apply to my jewelry business. I also had a rare coin business at one time. It was a mail order business. Well, I wish I had the same techniques now, the same skill, or not well, the skills, yes, that's true, but also the resources available to me that I have now when I sold rare coins. So anyway, I'm going to show you this stuff. I really believe it'll make all of the difference in the world for you. Okay. I honestly believe that. Okay. It comes from the depths of my heart. I want people to succeed. You could do it. Okay. So anyway, let me show you what I have here. I'm going to go to my screen share. Give me a minute here. I've got to go to a PowerPoint that has the information that I need. Okay. Okay. Hopefully you can see me online. If any of you for some reason or not can't see me, you might want to, some of you on my team have my phone number. You could give me a call or make a comment in the chat if that's available. I'm not sure if it's available right now or not, so you may have to give me a call if you don't see my screen. Just give me just 1 minute here. I'm gonna check. I need to check my iPad and see if my screen share is sharing. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. I needed to check with my wife to see if my screen share was happening here. So anyway, I'm just going to assume that it's working. Okay, sorry for that little bit of an interruption. So anyway, exciting stuff. Okay, how I got 4,759 active leads in 18 months. Now, just to remind you, I'm going to show you the proof here in a second from my AWeber autoresponder account. These are active leads. These don't include all of the other leads that I've basically cleaned out. The people who are not interested, I delete after, I think about 5 or 6 months, I'll delete those. And I've deleted them a couple of times this year. So my numbers are actually probably closer to 8,000. But these are our current active leads after some people will unsubscribe themselves, and other people are just not active. If they're not opening my emails for like 6 months, then I delete them from off my list. So this isn't total leads. The total leads, like I said, are probably around 7,000 or 8,000, but these are active leads right now in the last 18 or 19 months. And so anyway, let me go down here. And here's some income proof and also numbers from my AWeber. So over here on the left is a screenshot from my AWeber autoresponder account. And you can see here, right here on the left, 4,759 total subscribers. And like I said, those are current. These are after I've deleted subscribers that just didn't show any interest. And that's okay. That's part of sales. Not everybody's going to be interested, and that's okay. Okay, it's just a numbers game. and that's how you have to treat it. You can't take it personally. There's no need to take it personally. You just delete out the subscribers that aren't interested, and that's okay. And you work with the ones that are interested, and I send them value on a consistent basis, and to give them tips and ideas on how to build their own businesses. And after a while, as they learn to learn who I am and get to know, like, and trust me, and many of them do join me. And you can see over here on the right, this is last year's 1099. Now, this doesn't include everything this year. This includes two different income sources that I had during that first year doing internet marketing, and this is just from one source. That is, I got to be clear on this. The top source is just from one income source. It's called LFK Products, and you can see here that what I claimed here was $24,315 in a 12-month period from one income source. And so that was just for the 12-month period. It doesn't include everything this year either. This year, I'd have to add to that, and I can't remember exactly how much it is. But then on the bottom here, you can see with the second income source that I have, it's called iPass 2. I have right here where the arrow is about $47,000. And this has been in the last 19 or 20 months. Now, that's a 47 plus 24. That's 47, 57, 67, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that's about $60,000. 47. Yeah, 71,000. Sorry, that's about 71,000. Now, that doesn't include the one on top. I do have another income source that is the same income source at the top, but I don't have the current numbers on that. So I would probably have to add another 10 or 15,000. I'm not sure, but it's approximately $80,000 in the last 20 months. And this is part-time supplemental income. Okay. This is not my only income that I've had in the last 20 months. I'm actually a full-time professor at two different institutions here in Salt Lake City. One of them is Salt Lake City and one in Provo, Orem, Utah. And like I said before, teaching has never financially paid off. It's been very difficult to try to make ends meet on a teacher salary. When I taught in the secondary level, I did have income that got me through the summer, but I really wanted to teach on the college level. But because I do not have a PhD, it was not possible for me to get a tenured full-time contract all year round that got me through the summer. So what I had to do is I primarily teach during the school year, during about an 8 or 9 month period during the school year. But in the students are not taking classes, man, it hits us hard. And we were in a situation a couple of years ago before I started doing this that I didn't have that jewelry store anymore. I had given it up because the jewelry prices had skyrocketed, and it was a tough situation a couple of summers ago. And what happened is that things got so bad that I had to go to my church and ask them to please help me with food. I'm a Mormon, and the Mormons, the Mormon Church does a wonderful job providing food for people that are on welfare. And rather than having to rely on the state for help, we get help from our church. And so that's what I did. I didn't want to have to do that, but I had to. And but fortunately, 2 or 3 months later, I was investigating some other options on the internet, and it made all the difference in the world. The first month that I started doing internet marketing, it took me a couple of weeks to get the ball rolling. But after that, about a month after that, I made about $800 that first month. And then the second month, I made about $1,200. The third month, I actually made about $4,300. And I consistently made about $4,000 and $5,000 per month after that, give or take a little bit. And then I think it was about my 11th month, I actually hit about $11,100 in a single 30-day period. And that's been my highest month so far. My goal right now is to consistently hit that every single month. I'm still working on that, but I have my belief obviously is higher because I've achieved that $11,000 month and I know I could do it. So anyway, this is just an income proof. And like I said, that this income proof does not include the top one, the LFK products one over the last, actually doesn't include anything in 2014. So I don't have those numbers with me right now, but at least you can see, the partial income here. So my estimate is probably around $80,000 or $85,000 total in the last 20 months. So anyway, you could do this. And the thing about this is, I got to tell you right now, you don't have to be a super techie. I mean, you do have to learn some things. I mean, you're going to have to learn how to write blogs and how to use an automatic email responder and a few technical things like that, but it's not overwhelming. These companies, they design their software so that they're user friendly because they know that they've got to make the software easy for people to use. Otherwise, they're out of business. Okay. So yeah, there's a little bit of technical stuff that you have to learn. There are a few little hurdles that you got to overcome, but you know what? In any business, you're going to have challenges, and for me personally, the technical challenges are really minimal compared to what other people face in traditional brick and mortar businesses. Okay, that's the one awesome thing about the internet. And the other awesome thing about the internet is I could do things like like I did today. I could spend the day with my mom. I happen to have the week off from my school, and I also have the whole month off of December. But I could do things like take care of my aging parents. I could take them to doctor's appointments and take them out to dinner and do stuff like that. About a year ago, I took my dad to a professional basketball game, something that I hadn't been able to afford before I started doing internet marketing. So anyway, whatever business that you're trying to promote online, let's do it, and do it with tenacity and with a lot of faith, okay? Because it does work, okay? Don't let anything hold you back. You're going to go into the unknown a little bit here with any new business, but that's the nature of business, and you can do it. So anyway, you can see what I've been able to do. Others have been able to do even better than me. The guy that got me going in this business, he's consistently made $100,000 years the last 2 years, so a couple $100,000 in his business. And so I know that I could do the same and even better. So anyway, let me just show you some things that you could do and some things that are very important. Okay, so now want to show you this right now. All of you who are on this webinar right now are obviously looking for, you're probably looking for the silver bullet. What do I do? What does my sponsor do to make a couple $100,000 in the last 2 years? What do other people in our organization do to become millionaires? And we do have about 13 millionaires right now in our primary opportunity. So what do they all do? Now, this is one thing that I've got to stress, okay, more than anything else, okay? There are a lot of ways of marketing on the internet. There's no one single way of marketing that's better than any of the others. There's many ways of marketing very effectively on the internet. But what I want to show you is this. Take a look at this iceberg for a second, okay? Those that I've followed, and I know several multimillionaires that are doing phenomenally well online. And all of the ones that I personally know believe heavily in the importance of developing themselves, okay? And you can see this, the iceberg is how I think about this. 80 to 90% of the volume of the iceberg is actually below the water. And the stuff above the water is the other stuff, the traffic, the follow-up, the lead generation, traffic generation is the stuff above the iceberg. Now, that's the stuff that everybody can see. That's the stuff that seems, on the surface to be the most important. But I got to tell you, it's not the most important, okay? Two people could use the same traffic strategies, and one could fail miserably and the other one could succeed beyond compare. Okay, so there's something about it that's beyond lead generation and traffic generation that makes all the difference in the world. And I am going to talk about some traffic generation here in a few minutes, but more importantly, I need to talk about this, okay? Look at the bottom of the iceberg here. I've got a big YOU is the power of that iceberg at the bottom, okay? It's your personal development, the prosperity mindset training, your emotional strength, your goals, your habits, your rituals, your entrepreneurial mindset, your work ethic, okay? Now, you are the CEO of your enterprise, okay? You're not going to be clocking in. That's the awesome thing. I don't have to clock in and out of work, not with my internet marketing business. And I don't have to answer to anybody. Okay, this is my business. It's my my success or my failures, whichever one I choose. So my success is totally up to me. Okay. And you have to have an entrepreneurial mindset. You can't have the mindset, well, I'm going to put in, 3 hours today and I better make, $20,000 this month or I'm going to quit, It just does not fly in the the business world. You've got to take personal responsibility. And I'm going to show you some things that are awesome that are going to help with the under the water stuff. Okay. And I'm also going to talk about traffic and, as important as traffic and lead generation are and follow up, the stuff under the water is the most important stuff. I absolutely 100% without a doubt believe in that. Okay. And you talk to millionaires that are on the internet, those who are honest and providing phenomenal, value to people. They're going to be in agreement on this stuff. Okay. Those that are not doing I'll guarantee you those that have been struggling for years and aren't making any money, most likely they don't care about this stuff. Okay. But I do. Okay. And it works. Now, let me show you a couple things that are important. All of this stuff shines through in your marketing. It absolutely does. Sales is a transfer of emotion. And I'll tell you the truth, if I have a day where I just have emotionally, if maybe I've been kicking the dog or kicking over the computer or what, I don't do that. But you see what I mean? If I've had a real tough day emotionally, I don't even attempt to make a video. Okay. So I need to, I keep that in mind. It's one thing that kind of helps me actually, because I know that if I'm not together emotionally, then I'm not going to be able to make a good marketing content. Okay. Whatever it is. And so I do everything I can to keep my emotions in check and stay in a positive attitude so I can do a good job in my marketing. Sales is a transfer of emotion. And if you're emoting bad vibes, people feel that. I mean, they're not just listening to your words, they're feeling your excitement or your lack of excitement. Okay. Now, the foundation of your success in your internet marketing business is absolutely you, without a doubt. Think of a large building like the Empire State Building or the Chrysler Building or some of these massive skyscrapers. Can you imagine how large the foundations are below? Think about a tree. The roots of a tree are much larger than the tree itself. You've got to work on you, okay? It has to be it is part of your marketing, because you can't divorce the two. You can't separate marketing from mindset. They have to go together. Okay. I honestly believe that mindset is part of marketing, because sales is a transfer of emotions. Now, and as you may know, most people make buying decisions based on emotion. Okay. And they have to be in the right, mindset themselves to want to buy from you. Okay. So anyway, let me show you some things that are very, very important. Okay. And we'll get to the marketing stuff in a minute here, but this is a challenge that I want to give you. Okay. It's what I call the 30-30-30 challenge. Read for 30 minutes per day. Now, I'm not talking about novels and other stuff that's just entertaining, but I'm talking about personal development personal development and mindset type books, books that are designed to help you build yourself. Okay, so I read for 30 minutes per day. Also listen to audio 30 minutes per day. Actually, I probably listen to audio more than that, because I listen to my audio primarily while I'm driving. So when I go to and from the college, that's when I do my audio training. And a lot of people ask me, well, okay, Jack, if you're if you're doing so well in your internet marketing, why are you teaching? Well, I love teaching. I love teaching at the college that I teach. I love teaching both of them. And even when I start making $100,000 or $200,000 a year, I'm not there yet. But when I start making that, I'm probably going to continue to teach part time at least, because I do teach it and I miss it when I'm not teaching. I didn't feel that way about secondary ed, by the way, but I do feel that way about higher ed. I really love what I do, so I continue to do it. And I believe that's important too, that you should do what you want to do, that you need to do things that you love. And I loved internet marketing, but I also love teaching, so I continue to do it. Okay, a little distraction there, but anyway, do it for 30 days in a row. So read for 30 minutes a day, audio for 30 minutes a day, and do it for 30 days in a row without fail. Now you'll get in the habit of doing it, and you'll see the effect in your marketing as you're working on yourself. You'll see, and it'll also make a difference in your decision making. Okay, most people that get into a business, they're so focused on the negative stuff, the challenges, or the problems that they're not thinking, and they're not thinking about how to solve those problems in a productive way. And if you get your mindset right in the morning, especially in the morning, then it helps you throughout the day, and it pushes you forward past any of the challenges that you may face, and it's going to help you making positive and effective decisions. Okay, so rinse and repeat. Okay, so 30 minutes a day, listen to audio, and do that for 30 days straight, and rinse and repeat. Okay, now here's some recommended books and audios. Again, we're building the foundation. Okay, a lot of people wonder, okay, Jack, why do you spend so much time talking about personal development? Because it is the majority of your marketing and the transference of emotion. It shines through in your marketing. It absolutely does. Okay. Anyway, just promise it does. So here's some audios. I'm going to recommend these right now. Some of you are probably familiar with these. The Strangest Secret is very powerful. It's been around for probably 55 years now, by Earl Nightingale. I've listened to that tape probably 100 times over again. It is phenomenal. Empower Network's Inner Circle audio series. It's renewed on a weekly basis, I believe. I listen to this continually. Anthony Robbins' audios and videos, of course. Bob Proctor's audios and videos. Zig Ziglar. He just passed away this last year, but I've been a follower of Zig Ziglar since I was in college. And I had a clergyman that recommended that to me when I was having some challenges while I was going through college. And I was so grateful that he introduced me via tapes to Zig Ziglar. Very grateful, wonderful. And Art Williams, another awesome person who built a multi-billion-dollar insurance company, and he is just phenomenal. And most of these you can find on the internet with YouTube and other places. Empower Network, you have to actually become a member and purchase the Inner Circle audios with Empower Network. Very powerful. They include not only personal development and mindset stuff, but they also include some marketing training that is just absolutely phenomenal. Empower Network's focus is internet marketing, and also personal development mindset stuff is what they provide also. Now, phenomenal products. So anyway, those are just some of the audios. That's not everything that I can think of, but it's what I can fit on this page. Okay, and then books. Okay, and I don't recommend anything that I don't read or listen to myself. So this is not an exhaustive list, but I have right at the top of my list here, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Been around for probably 70 years now, and he researched, I believe, about 500 of the richest people in the United States, and put together a science of getting rich, and talks about the mindset, talks about faith, and talks about the what is needed to think, how to think to be successful. T. Harv Eker, Secrets of a Millionaire Mind, multi-millionaire, that teaches you how to basically change your money blueprint so you have a blueprint for success. He honestly believes that all of us are born with some kind of a blueprint, some kind of attitude about success. If you're thinking stuff, for example, if you're thinking things like, money doesn't grow on, you can almost fill in the blanks, right? Money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all blank. We're raised with these what I call money viruses about money, and what happens is that our minds, if we think that if we equate making money with being evil, then our minds will not allow us to make the money. But on the other hand, you can do so much more to help the world, help people out, help the world out. You can contribute so much more if you have money than if you don't have money. Okay. But anyway, he talks about, just real quickly here, he said that when he was young and not making any money at all, he was just, he was in bankruptcy, I believe. He had a friend of his father's who's a multi-millionaire, and he told T. Harv Eker, he says that if you're not making the money you need to, and if you're not successful right now, all that means is that there is something that you don't know. And from there, he started to study what other multimillionaires were doing, and created a science, a secret of helping your mind to become to think like a millionaire. Psycho-cybernetics, another one that was recommended by another friend of mine, by Maxwell Maltz, MD, multi-million seller. It was actually a million seller back in the early 60s. Here's another, and I've read that book several times over again. Here's another one I've read several times over again, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is another one that, Dale Carnegie spent many, many years studying people that were good at becoming friends with others and influencing people and gaining friendships and people that this is a people business that we're in. And Dale Carnegie spent many years, as Napoleon Hill did, in studying people that were successfully could win friends and influence people. Wonderful, awesome book. Another one by Stephen R. Covey, Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. Stephen R. Covey is a Utah native, as I am, and I've looked up to him for many, many years. I've read his other books. I'm not finished yet with Seven Habits. I've read part of it, and I'm still in the middle of finishing that one. The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. I've read that one a couple of times, 2 or 3 times. He has 2 other books that came out. The other one is called The Greatest Secret in the World, and the other one is called The Greatest Miracle of the World, again by Og Mandino. I believe, if I remember right, I believe Og Mandino is the author and publisher of Success Magazine. Phenomenal reading, okay? Very helpful. Here's another one that's been around for many, many years by Frank Bettger. It's called How I Raised Myself from Failure to Success in Selling. Now, the awesome thing about internet marketing is that a lot of the selling that occurs in systems is handled by the system. But, as you learn more about selling, selling is more of a process of selling without selling. In other words, learning how to craft your own story so that you could transfer that feeling to other people. I try not to sell. The Science of Getting Rich is another one by Wallace D. Wattles, a book that's actually is probably 100 years old or more. Been around for a long, long time. The Science of Getting Rich. One of the first people to actually put together some kind of a scientific method of how others become rich. Here's another one by multi-billionaire John Huntsman. John Huntsman Sr. This is the father of John Huntsman, who ran for president a few years ago. John Huntsman Sr., awesome individual. He's the owner of and president of Huntsman Chemical Corporation. He's also a Utah native. I believe he lives in Park City, if I remember right. He wrote a book called Winners Never Cheat. He also wrote another one called Cheaters Never Win. He is an awesome individual with impeccable integrity. And on top of that, he's the most generous person that I know, most generous, wealthy person that I know. And for example, he's founded Huntsman Cancer Institute, and he's given billions of dollars to his foundations. So, and he's very passionate about finding a cure for cancer. He lost both of his parents to cancer, and he's had bouts with cancer himself, and so that's why he's created the Huntsman Cancer Hospital and Huntsman Cancer Institute. So, anyway, as you can see, I immerse myself in personal development. I also immerse myself in tactical training too. Okay, if you want to make money, you got to educate yourself. Okay, but I'll tell you, the amount of money that you'll spend on your business, your personal development, and your training is a small fraction compared to what I spent in my university education. In my university education itself got me into debt, probably $100,000. But I spent a drop in the bucket, a small fraction, to educate myself in internet marketing compared to what I've spent in my university education. So anyway, it's worth your time and effort to listen to audios and read books on a daily basis. Some people will say, well, Jack, I don't have a half an hour a day to listen to audio. Well, listen to it in your car. Or I don't have an hour a day to read a book in the morning or in the evening. Well, how much is your future worth to you? Okay, really? You've got to work on yourself. Okay. So anyway, very powerful stuff. This is the under the water stuff, the under the water iceberg stuff that is the most power. Now, what I want to talk about, this is kind of interesting. Talking about a work ethic here for a minute. This is kind of a neat story, I got to tell you, about my grandpa, and one of the primary reasons why I've been able to be successful. Okay. And, it's not always about, the perfect business and the perfect opportunity. I've been in some great opportunities. In fact, I'm in a phenomenal one, I believe now, but you know what? We have a lot of people in phenomenal opportunities that get no results. Okay. And this is a really awesome, neat story. Just really quickly, I honestly believe that this short story is going to help you in your marketing, in your business, and your approach to business. My grandpa over there on the left died several years ago, about 8 or 10 years ago, died at the age of 92. He never had an education past the ninth grade. Never had an education past the ninth grade, yet he was tremendously successful. I wouldn't call him rich. He may have been worth close to $1 million at one time. Well, in his day, $500,000 was quite a lot of money. So he probably was close to a millionaire anyway, in our terms. Okay. So what he did is he was poor as can be during the Depression. And, in the mid 40s, he opened up a restaurant over here on the left. It's called Pickle Bill's. I don't see the entire restaurant. I don't have a good picture of it there on the left. On the right is the inside of this old restaurant. But he worked his tail off in this restaurant. See, Grandpa has a very tenacious work ethic. He just works full steam ahead. And the interesting thing about it is, he applied that work ethic, and even though he didn't know anything about the restaurant business, didn't really know anything about business, he went with a lot of faith, and even though his actions were imperfect, he was able to make a pretty successful business. He ran this restaurant here at the left for about 25 years, and it made a ton of money. In his words, he says, we made money hand over fist in that business. And fortunately today, you don't have to spend nearly this kind of money marketing on the internet. Grandpa had to buy his own building, had to hire employees, had to, all of the expenses and the overhead of running a business, but yet he was able to do it. And on the internet today, yeah, there's some expenses you're going to have, but they're not nearly as significant as running a restaurant. But I just want to show you a couple things, and these are things that personally have helped me in my own business that I've kind of learned from my grandfather, and I'm hoping that I could pass Grandpa's success secrets on to you for a second here. And I promise this all ties to traffic and marketing and everything else. So bear with me a few minutes. It's important stuff. Now, what's Grandpa's results? Because of his tenacious, hardworking work ethic, at the age of 55, he retired from his restaurant business. He owned his home and restaurant free and clear. Actually, that restaurant was paid off within about a 5-year period, believe it or not. He paid off his mortgage in 5 years. He also owned other real estates free and clear. He lived off of his savings from the age of 55 to the age of 92. He didn't have to work during that time. He did help his uncle for a while in another business, but he didn't have to do that. His uncle's business didn't do quite as well, but Grandpa, because even though my uncle's business actually went out of business, even though that business went out of business, my grandpa continued to live off of his savings and his other investments until the day he died at age 92. Even though the son's business didn't do as well, but he was careful about his money during that time and didn't put it all away into a bad investment. He was careful. He died. When he died, he had about $500,000 in savings, and he owned his home free and clear. And I think he had some other assets and some other real estate. But it was all because he worked his tail off in this restaurant business. Now I want to go back up here a second ago. I skipped one here. Okay, now I want to go back here. The reason why he got these results is right here. It says that, excuse me, and these are the things that I learned from my grandfather more than anything else. And I hope that you get something from this. And this is the takeaway. Hopefully this is one of the takeaways that you get from this webinar today. My grandpa, even though he came out of the Depression, he was actually a rancher before he started his restaurant business. He came out of the Depression, not knowing anything about restaurant business, didn't know anything about business in general, but he moved forward in faith, not knowing beforehand everything about the restaurant business. He didn't know everything, but he just moved forward anyway. With a little bit of faith, he moved forward and took massive and immediate action. He did not waste his time. He didn't spend time listening to the radio or later on watching TV. He just took massive and immediate action as quick as he possibly could, and he moved forward full steam ahead. That was his words. I moved forward full steam ahead. And fortunately, I've inherited that because my mother is that way. His daughter, sorry. And I watched my mother do that. I watched my father do that. My grandfather do that. I've helped him do project, and man, I couldn't keep up with my grandpa. It was tough to kind of keep up with him just physically. And he just moved forward fast. His action was imperfect. And that's something that's very, very important, guys. His actions were imperfect, but he was very tenacious and focused, okay? Very tenacious and focused. He was focused on his goals, focused on accomplishing things in his business, focused on getting things done. He always finished what he started, and none of his actions were perfect. He got better at it as time went by, but he just moved forward, and he didn't waste time. He took massive and immediate action all the time, okay? And that's, in Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and also in Napoleon Hill's book, absolutely, they talk about the importance that people who are wealthy take massive and immediate action. They don't take forever making a decision. They make a decision quickly and they change it very, very seldom. On the other hand, they say that people that are unsuccessful take a long time deciding, and they change their minds frequently, and they jump from thing to thing to thing to thing. Okay, you got to avoid that now. Okay, let's go to the next one. So there's Grandpa's results. I already talked about those, and so yes, his work ethic, his tenacity, his taking massive action, and making decisions quickly and moving forward, even though it was imperfect action, is what gave him these results. Now, I honestly believe that if he had additional education, it would have helped him quite a bit. He probably would have been a multimillionaire, but he only had a 9th grade education. He didn't have the education ethic that a lot of us do. But can you imagine if you put education with a work ethic, what kind of results you could get? And I believe in both. Now, here's a few tips about video traffic generation, blogging, and email follow-up. Now, the stuff that I've already talked about, again, is the stuff that's going to shine through in your marketing. And it makes all of the difference in the world. Without the stuff I just talked about, what I'm going to tell you right now won't make any difference at all. Okay? I could tell you the perfect tips, the perfect tricks and ideas, and unless you have the other stuff in place, what I'm going to tell you right now won't make a hill of beans. Okay? So now that we've talked about the mindset stuff, I hopefully you'll see the vision and take action on what I taught you about the 30-30-30 rule. Okay, 30 minutes a day video, 30 minutes a day audio, 30 minutes of reading, and do that for 30 days. But continue and rinse and wash every month. Okay, but start at the beginning. Start today. Okay. Sorry, I've got to click out of this for a second and get to, let me just show you some things that are going to help. Okay. Now, I just want to show you a few ideas, and let me just explain something here. Obviously, in this 1 hour, we're probably going to be going to about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. In this short period of time, there's no way I'm going to be able to teach you everything. But I am going to show you some resources to go to. But I'm going to show you a few things about what I do to get leads online and how I got nearly 5,000 active leads and about 8,000 total leads, and just a few ideas, okay? And they work for me. They work very, very well. And I back these with my personal development stuff that I learn on a daily basis. So, and I also believe 100% in training and in developing my own skills. I purchased the products that I need to so that I can learn how to do some of these techniques. Okay. So just let me show you just one example here. For example, I use YouTube marketing a lot, and just to kind of give you an idea here, and incidentally, like I said, there's more training available that I'm going to give you access to here in a minute. But here's just a few ideas. If you type in, for example, here's one keyword, how to rank high on YouTube. You can see I'm number 2 already just for this particular keyword. And these are very targeted leads. Let me see how we're doing here. Click over here. So there's about 1,200 altogether here. And what I do is I'll give a short little training here on this particular one on how to rank high on YouTube. It's called 7 Power Moves. It's only a 5-minute video. And what I do is I just give them value, 100% value, and I just teach what I've learned, okay? For example, I'll learn from a training course how to do something, and I'll shoot a quick video about it. I'll put it on YouTube, and then what I do is I'll say, okay, if you want to have access to more training on how to market on YouTube, then click on a link below. So let me just show you how this is done. This is what I call a lead magnet. First of all, I give them value. that they could use in any business. Okay. And then I'd say, click the link below the video for more training, for some free training. So they click here. Let me just show you what this looks like here. They click on the link below. Hey guys, and what this is, let me stop this for a second. What this is I'm giving them access to a free PDF and a video walkthrough to 30 to 50 leads per day. And I give them a full-fledged training on video marketing, basically, and how they can get 30 to 50 leads per day, because I've been able to do that. Okay. And this is called a lead magnet. You don't have to use this kind of a lead magnet if you don't have experience with 30 to 50 leads per day. You're not, don't make a video about it. Never lie, okay? But you can make a video about something else. It could be about maybe something. Let's say, for example, you're brand new and you don't know what to use as a lead magnet. You could talk about maybe 5 of your favorite internet marketing tools, for example. An auto email responder is a tool. A blog is a tool. Using YouTube as an internet site. You can talk about a lot of different things to give people value, and it can be a free lead. And so what I do is I tell them that they have access to an absolutely free training, and it's a PDF walkthrough. It's something that is physical. And a video that goes with it that teaches them how to get leads. And it says, give me my checklist here. They click on that. And then here they can put in their email address. And what that allows me to do is, number one, I send them my free checklist, my free lead magnet. And then it also, with the email address, it allows me to follow up with these prospects and give them ideas on how to build their business. And why do I do that? I do that to build trust with them, to give them great value, but it also builds trust. And think about it. The people that you've developed a trust and a relationship with, they are the ones that are more likely to join you in your business. Or if you're trying to sell a product, they are the ones that are going to be more likely to buy your product from you. So that's kind of how that works. So I follow up with these people through my automatic email responder, my auto email responder. So anyway, that's kind of how that works. So video to a lead magnet, and then to an auto email responder. And that's how I do that. Let me show you another idea, just another idea. You can write these ideas down if you want. Now, one thing I want to stress is these ideas, see how they are going to apply to your own business, whatever you happen to be selling. Maybe it's, maybe you sell shoes on the internet. How can you apply this to your whatever you're selling? Okay, or whatever opportunity that you're selling. Here's another idea, 2K a day system. What this is actually an internet marketing product. And what I do often is I'll make a review of a product, an internet marketing product. And you can just go on Google or other places on YouTube and find out a little bit about the product. And so let me just show you how this works. Is I click on here, and this is Jack Later, and this is a 2K a day system review. Okay, so I give them I let them know that this is a review of this particular product, and then what I do is I let them know that this may be a great product, and what I do is, in this particular case, is I'll click. Now notice, this is a short video. I don't like to put long videos on YouTube anymore, because I want to get them off of YouTube and get them into my own to my own value, and maybe my own product or opportunity. So let me just show you what they do is I let them know that that the full-fledged detailed review is at the link below the video. So they click here. Let me just show you what this is. They click here, and this takes them to the full-fledged review. Now you notice that we've got a pop-up here. We teach you how to make pop-ups. They're very easy. I know they're really annoying. They are, but believe it or not, they do drive traffic. This happens to be a pop-up going to my primary opportunity. But let me just show you here. This video that is on this page, this is one of my blogs. This video that's embedded into my blog is actually the full-fledged review. I give them a review that they're looking for. I let them know, about the product and my feeling, my opinion about the product, because I've had experience on the internet. And even if you haven't had experience, you could find out about the product. You could go on Google and find out enough about the product, maybe a 5-minute, just a second. Sorry, my wife had a question for me. Anyway, so you can find out enough on the internet about a product. It'll only take you maybe 15 or 20 minutes to research out the product. And then what I do is I let them know, yeah, this may be a great product, but I want to give you access to a system that's made all of the difference in the world for me. And then they could click this link below the video or any of these links over here to the systems that I use. So that's what you can do in your own business. That's just one idea. Okay, you don't necessarily have to do this, but it's just one other idea of getting leads. So when they click the links here, then I'm again able to get their email address and follow up with the people, and a lot of times they'll join or buy my product or buy my service or whatever it is. So anyway, that's just one idea. And let me show you another one here. So again, the banners here are to an opportunity that where they can join if they want to, or a system that eventually will help me earn income. And they're phenomenal opportunities. Now, so it could be your opportunity or whatever you happen to be selling. Now, here's another idea. You could also do reviews on systems, okay? And I've done reviews on several different systems in the past. This just happens to be the system iPass 2. Those of you who are in my team know what iPass 2 is about. This happens to be one of my primary opportunity, but I've done reviews on many other systems. Okay, this is the primary system that I use to make money online, but you could do a review on any system. But I've learned, through the training that I have in our system, I've learned how to rank stuff on YouTube, and you can too. Now, so here's another idea. I do you type in this keyword and look what happens. I actually am on the very first page, and you can see I've got about 2,300 views here. And I just want to show you what happens here. I click here to this review. And again, let me make this smaller. I tell them that this is a very short review. This is just an introduction to the full-fledged review. So if they click here at the bottom, again, they're going to get taken to my blog, and the blog has the full-fledged review.
People are coming on
This happens to be a review from the creator of the system, and I tell them that this is going to be a full-fledged review by the creator of the system. He's going to know more about the system than anybody, and I let them know that what they're going to see, that this is a review of the system, very detailed review. And then if they want, they can click on my primary opportunity. And again, you can apply this to any business that you have. And you can see my income here has gone up since I made this recent video. It went up to 47, I think. But anyway, they could join your opportunity from here. And incidentally, you don't have to have an income record to be successful online. When I started, I was getting leads. Like I said, by my third month, I made $4,300, but my first month was $800. I didn't have any income proof at that time. You never want to lie. Never do that. Okay. But you could start by leveraging other people's success and, talk about what others have done and et cetera, in whatever your opportunity you have. You can always leverage other people's success and always give them credit. Okay. So anyway, that's just another idea. I send them to that. Now, the other thing that you'll see is on this video here, I do have a second link here. I don't always do that. I usually just like to have one link, but this one was consistent to have a second link, and the second link happened to take them to another video. Just a second. And this is actually our primary opportunity that I have this link to. So, you know, think about whatever link you want to show to link at the bottom of the page.
This is my final
Just a
offer.
second. Sorry.
I don't want you to leave empty-handed.
Sorry. Anyway, it's very important when you make a video that you tell the people specifically, you got to have a call to action. Include a call to action. And I tell them to click the link below the video for the full review. Or they could click the link below if they want access to the exact system that I use to make as much as $11,100 in a single month, which is true, okay? And they could click either one of those. It doesn't matter to me. Now, I want to show you one other thing that I do, okay? One thing that I do is I do include fairly often, not all the time, but fairly often, I will put my video, my traffic generation video on my blog. Here's the primary blog that I use. I actually have two blogs. You don't have to have two blogs. You could use one blog. This blog is one that I use through the Empower Network. It's a phenomenal blog. So what I do is I embed my video on my blog. It's very easy to embed. We have training in our system that teaches you how to do this, but even if you don't, you just call customer service and ask them how to do it. And once you know how to do it once, it's very, very easy. It only takes a half a second to embed a video on your blog. But let me just show you something. This was the review, right? Sorry about this. Okay, this was the first YouTube video that I made. But what I also do is I take that same video and I put it on my Empower Network blog right here, okay? So anyway, that's another thing that I do. Now, the advantage of that is that Google and YouTube love blogs. A blog is considered social media. And Google and YouTube love social media, and it helps you rank higher in YouTube if your YouTube shows up on a blog. Now, you could also get traffic to your blog, obviously, because Google will search out and rank your blog. But what I use it for mainly is in providing, you know, ranking for my videos in YouTube. And you can see there how I have ranked pretty high. I can't find where it was originally. I guess it's not.
And this is a 2K a day.
Anyway, I guess I lost the original page there, but remember that 2K a day system was at the top of the first page of a YouTube search. So it absolutely works to do this, okay? It's just one other thing to do to help you rank high. There's other things that you can do also. I don't have time to go over those now. Now, what I want to stress right now before I forget, it's really important, guys. If you want to learn how to do all of these things in more detail, make sure to watch your email like a hawk, because about every week and sometimes every other week when I'm into school and my time is more consumed by school, I'm not able to do these training webinars as often. But during the breaks like this, I do them every week. So watch your emails like a hawk. I send you an email and let you know that I've got a webinar like this, and this is where I give my training, free of charge. Now, of course, you want to have access to your own training through whatever system you might have that you're using, but keep your eye on your email every day. And I do send out, like I said. And I send out information on my webinars like this that I give, as well as daily tips and ideas. Now, let me show you one other thing that I do. The other thing that I do, in addition to putting my video on my blog, is I will write a short blog like this. Now, this doesn't take me long to write. In fact, I'm not writing this blog verbatim every time. This is actually a script that I use for my YouTube, and my scripts are saved in my Microsoft Word. And so I just change up my script every time I do another video. It only takes me about 5 minutes to change my script with my Microsoft Word. And then what I do is I just copy and paste what I have in my Microsoft Word right over here to my blog. And this is basically my script, okay? And so this is my script here. And again, people could play my video here. They could also join my opportunity from this page if they want to. They click down the bottom. They get access to a money making system that I use here at the bottom. They can also have access to my primary system right here, this iPass system. So anyway, that's just an idea that you could use for your own business. Whatever opportunity or anything that you're selling, I'm hoping that this gives you some ideas. Now, let me show you one other thing that I do to get leads. And, using a blog actually is optional, but it is very, very powerful. But one thing that is not optional, okay, is having an auto email responder and following up with people, okay? We'll talk more about auto email responders in another training, but what I want to show you is what do I send people who are my subscribers on my auto email responder. I use Aweber and also GetResponse. I've used Aweber the longest, but like I said, the entire goal of your marketing efforts needs to be in obtaining an email address. Obtain an email address because that is a prospect, right? And what I do is I follow up with those people on a daily basis with emails, okay? And I give them value. I don't just pitch them all the time. In fact, I have an 80-20 rule. I give them 80% value, and I might pitch them an opportunity 10 to 20% of the time, okay? But most of the time, I'm sending them stuff that they can actually use. For example, here's one example right here. This is something that I would send to my subscribers who are on my email list, who are on my auto email list, okay? And incidentally, I could send an email out to 5,000 subscribers at a time, but by just a click of the button. So what I do is instead of trying to pitch them all the time, they'll just get turned off by that. I want to send them value. So what I do is as I learn stuff on a daily basis, I'll create maybe a short little 5-minute video. I'll upload it to YouTube, and then I'll embed it into my blog here, and I'll give them some value to use in their own businesses. Not everybody's going to join me, and that's okay. My hope is to give them value that they can use in their own business, whatever business they're in. And, in time, it's very possible that many of these people will join me, and they do join me. I sponsored somebody in my primary opportunity I think 2 days ago. Actually, I sponsored 3 in the last week. So you could do this, okay? So anyway, just another idea is you could put together some kind of a value video. Here's an example. How can I automate my internet marketing business like a rock star? And I give them some ideas on how they can automate their internet marketing business. It's a short 3-minute video. And a couple of those ways I wrote on the bottom here is use an auto email responder like Aweber or GetResponse. Have a link there where they can join Aweber if they want. GetResponse link is right below that. I also use a service called Pingler and Power Indexer to help get my web addresses, my links to my videos out there on the web. I use these 2 tools here. And it helps me save a lot of time so I don't have to create backlinks manually. Those backlinks can be created for you for $5. It's a lot less work than trying to create your own backlinks. Backlinking is optional, but especially today, I backlink some of my videos, not all of them. You could start with, if you have no budget at all, you could do YouTube videos without backlinking. But as you start bringing in more and more income, I do recommend that you spend a little bit of money in backlinking, and I have training on how to do that, and our system does training on how to do that. Our system provides some phenomenal training on how to backlink and how to make YouTube videos and how to rank those videos. So anyway, that's just another idea on how to create more and more business, how to create more signups, and how to make more sales through a blog and also with an email. So what I do is what I call the triangle of trust. I'll make a YouTube video. I'll collect the email, and I'll send in my emails. I'll send emails out directing the people to my blog right here. And from my blog, this blog, they could join my my opportunity or buy a product or whatever it happens to be. You can see there's links on the bottom here where if they're interested in making a few $1,000s a month, they could click on a link here and join my system if they want. So that's another idea. Now, I just want to show you one last thing before we leave here. You can get additional training, additional help through a system that I use. It's totally up to you, but I would recommend that you educate yourself on one way or the other, how to do internet marketing. What I do is I use a system called iPass. I'm not going to go into all the details on this, but I just want to let you know, some of you guys are already in iPass. If you're just looking over the shoulder and thinking about iPass possibly, this is a phenomenal place to go. The awesome thing is that you could join with a $7 trial by clicking the link over on the right-hand side of this webinar page. There's a link there for iPass, but let me just kind of show you an idea of how this system will provide additional help on training you on how to make money online. So if you click on this training center here, when you get access to iPass, when you sign up with the $7 trial, you'll have access to this training center, and you can go over here on the right, and here's just a couple of examples. How to drive, let's see, how the system works, driving people to your website right here, launching your business, online marketing basics, really powerful stuff right here on the right. Facebook marketing mastery. Facebook is a huge thing right now. We do some Facebook marketing right now. My wife has been doing some. I know people that make phenomenal income on Facebook. I'm not a Facebook marketing expert. I don't claim to be. And like I said at the beginning, YouTube happens to be my expertise, but there's a lot of ways of making money online. And I know there's a lot of people that make a huge amount of money on Facebook alone. Okay. I might focus on YouTube and make good money with it. I do know people that make $10,000 to $20,000 a month consistently on YouTube, but I also know people that make $10,000 to $20,000 a month or more on Facebook. So they do give you some Facebook mastery right here. Now, the other thing that you could do is if you join this $7 trial, when you click the link at the right there is a product over here, and I got to show you on the right that's very affordable. I believe, I might be wrong about this, I think it's a $49 product. It's called the Six-Figure Shortcuts. I actually purchased the Six-Figure Shortcuts before it was part of iPass, and I think I paid $295 for it, something like that, $295. But you have access to this. I believe it's about $49, I believe, something like that. But anyway, maybe it might be less now. I can't remember. But anyway, just if you do this $7 trial, I would highly, 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 highly recommend that you check out the training on YouTube marketing right here. Okay. And telling your story in video. These two right here alone are worth, more than what they're selling this product for. It's made me tens and tens of thousands of dollars just learning what I learned from the individual that is doing the training on YouTube marketing. The person doing the YouTube marketing training here, he's in his early 20s. I believe he's only 21 or 22 years old, and already he makes $10,000 to $20,000 per month on YouTube alone. Okay, and I've learned from his stuff. Alone, and I've implemented that just recently, just some of the things that I've learned from him. And I honestly believe that as I implement more and more of what he's taught, that my income will become more consistently $10,000 a month. So anyway, those are just some ideas that I wanted to leave with you. So anyway, let me go back here for a second. Okay. Anyway, we're back here. I hope that you got a ton of value from that. And, let me know in the comments below what your number one takeaway is from this training. I've really enjoyed doing this. My passion is internet marketing right now and helping people get the value that they need, helping them make money online. I have made, when I had my jewelry store years ago, I did make money then online, but like I said, I didn't know how to market. I really didn't. Most of what I've learned, 95% of what I've learned has been because of the stuff that I've learned as a result of iPass and other systems like that on the internet. I've utilized other systems in the past, but iPass 2 has been the best financial choice I've ever made. It's been the best system that I've ever seen. And I have made money with other systems, as you can see. But I've been very pleased with iPass. I would recommend that you click on the link if you're thinking about getting the value that and the education you need and the system. I would recommend iPass. But whether you join iPass or not, hopefully you've gained some value from what I've shown you today. And you know what? More than anything else, okay? I see a lot of very let me say it this way, some very capable people that have come online that didn't succeed because they didn't take action. Okay. And it's really unfortunate. In a way, it kind of makes me sad because I see so many people who could do as well as me or better online, but they don't do well because they don't take action. I'm gonna recommend that whatever you've learned today, I know we talked about a lot of stuff. We didn't have time to go through everything, but whatever you've learned today, I hope that you take action on maybe one or two ideas today that you could, hopefully you've taken a bunch of notes and you could apply. Don't wait for 2 weeks to go by without taking action. Take action tomorrow. If there's anything I've learned about internet marketing is that you've got to take action immediately on what you learn, okay? And take action on it, fast and implement it and become a master at whatever you're doing. You're the CEO of your own enterprise. I honestly believe that. If you were to hire yourself, okay, would you hire yourself, okay, based on whatever action you're taking right now? Yes, the action is going to be imperfect. You're not going to know everything. I'm talking to you as if you're in my own room right now, my own office, and I want you to succeed. But you've got to take action. You need to be tenacious. You need to have a work ethic that is unstoppable. Okay, you can do it. Okay, now the cool thing is that as you build this business, at first, yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of time at it. Spend whatever time you're able to, whether it's an hour or two a day or 3 hours, but don't count the hours. At first, you're probably going to be spending a lot more time on it. But as time goes, you'll be spending less time and less time. I am spending much less time on my business now than I used to. At first, I worked horrendous hours. And that was while I was working full-time teaching, raising my family. I was fully involved in my church and my activities there, but I worked relentlessly at my business, especially at the beginning. And you know what? When I had hard times, for example, YouTube terminated my account one time, but it didn't stop me. I went and put my videos right back up on YouTube. And even though I had challenges, my income continued to come in on a weekly, on a daily basis, even though my marketing went dead when I lost my YouTube. Well, I got those YouTubes back up, and this is the neat thing. I learned some ideas from our system that taught me how to reduce the likelihood of having my YouTube account terminated. Okay, and I've been more careful about it, and I've been able to make strategic steps to prevent that. That's just one example. You're going to have challenges in your business. But the cool thing is if you have the right system, like I believe we have right now, I know we have, then the income will continue to come in even if you have challenges and lulls in your marketing. Okay, so what you want to do now is whatever you've learned today, take action on it tomorrow and take massive immediate action and move forward, and don't let anything stop you. Full steam ahead. So anyway, hope that was of value to you. Hope that you're able to implement this in whatever business that you have. And more than anything else, let me leave you with this one last thought that I'm going to leave you. Okay. A lot of you on this call right now know of the name Winston Churchill. He was the British Prime Minister during World War II. And he's the one that took Britain through its challenges. There's two things that he said, okay? One of them is he said, never give in, never give in. Now, here is another one that he said. It was at his final speech in Parliament, and Winston Churchill's greatest speech was only 7 words long, and it was similar to the first. He said, never, and it was 7 words long, never give up. Then he paused, then he spoke again, and he said, never give up. Make it a great day. Goodbye.